Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? This is Mark Poles of Knocked Conscious. This is my first live stream. This is my first monologue piece. I've not done anything like this ever. So I hope that people jump on and they say hi. So I hope there's at least one or two people watching. I guess we'll find out in a second. But I was just at AmFest this week, and boy, was it an interesting mixture of people. I got to admit, it was very interesting. I've never seen like a Zionist booth and a Christian booth alternate between Zionist Christian, Zionist Christian. It was one of the most interesting experiences I've seen in that respect. Um, there's this talk about a cultural Christianity and this woke right, and it is becoming clearly evident. And I believe that I warned about it or cautioned about it right when it started because it's the blowback to the progressive left movement. There's always blowback, everybody. Everybody overcorrects. I wish we'd stop somewhere in the middle, but that's not what is happening. So, but it was pretty cool. I got to meet Ian Carroll. I got to meet, gosh, who else did I run into? Jack Posobiec. Um, Lots of people there at the event. It was a little different vibe than Freedom Fest for sure, but it was very interesting for sure, without a doubt. A lot of people there. I watched the Tim Pool live podcast. That was really interesting. There's a lot of takeaways the from the event, but I would love to hear what other people have to say. So feel free to leave some comments. I'm trying to see if anybody's actually on here. I don't think anybody is because I am not very well known. So that probably explains that a little bit. But I'd love for you to jump on. The Amfest thing was a very, very unique experience, I think. I don't know another way to say it, but you know, that's just how it works sometimes. Anyway, so this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. We get on here live. If there's any questions or anything, feel free to type it up. I'm happy to address those questions uh as they come up. So I think I'm live. I'm not sure, but it looks like one person is watching. So I hope they say hi. It might be me. I don't know. It might be me watching. So say hi if you're watching. Um, I don't know if I'm on any other things. I'm allegedly on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and the X. But one thing I did want to play, there's an interesting thing that I found that John Mearsheimer was talking with Lex Friedman. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. You have been kind to me the last couple days. Thane Eichenauer. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Um, I've already blown my load, my friend. I don't have that much else to talk about, but I did want to share this. We've been talking about Provoke. The reason I'm doing this today is because we had a scheduled 7:30 Eastern time. We're going to do this Provoked 8-part series. We've done 2 parts. We've got 6 more parts to go, but with the holidays coming and the family stuff, we thought that would kind of go away. So we decided to do this. Now, I hope that I can play this because I'm trying to see if I can. So what I like to do, I'm going to share my screen. That's the best way to do it. And I'm just going to do it here. And I'd like to show you this little clip of John Mearsheimer and Lex Friedman talking. I think it's one of the most interesting clips I've ever seen. And I've been trying to get Michael McFall to talk with or to debate Scott Horton for a while. So that's what's been happening on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through this real quick. Boom. Okay. All right. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, we're talking about Russia, Ukraine. I've got Lex Freeman on the screen, and he's talking with John Mearsheimer. And he says some very interesting things. So I'm just going to play this very quickly. All right. So that is the piece that I wanted to share. I hope I can unshare it now. But there it was. So I hope that worked. Did that seem to work? Anybody? Yes? No? Anyway. So basically what it was Michael McFall. Oh, you saw nothing. That's awful. All right, let me try this again. See, this is what happens. I'm live streaming, testing this live. So thank you so much for that. Hopefully this will work. Ah, there we go. Now we got it. All right, let's try this again. Apologies for the technical difficulties, everybody, but that's how it works when we do this stuff live.
And many Chinese citizens, if not now, maybe in the future, will believe. And you have to kind of do the calculation, the simulation forward from that. And same with Russia, same with other nations.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And just, I always think of Michael McFall at Stanford, who was the American ambassador to Russia, I think between 2012 and 2014. And he told me that he told Putin that Putin didn't have to worry about NATO expansion because the United States was a benign hegemon. And I asked Mike what Putin's response was to that. And Mike said that Putin didn't believe it. But Mike believed that he should believe it and that we could move NATO eastward to include Ukraine. And in the end, we'd get away with it because we are a benign hegemon. But the fact is, that's not what Putin saw. Putin saw us as a malign hegemon. And what Mike thinks or any American thinks doesn't matter.
All right. So that's what I wanted to share about John Mearsheimer and Lex Friedman. I hope that one came through this time. Thumbs up. Yes, I hope. But basically, what Michael McFall kept telling Putin is we're a benign hegemony. We're the good guys. We should be able to encroach on all of your territory because we are the good guys. But when you're being encroached upon, you don't see the encroachers as benign. You see them as malign. You see them as encroachers. So once again, we're covering this book. I didn't want to get too deep. Thane, thank you so much for joining. Did you have any questions for me, sir? Because like I said, there's nobody on here, man. It's you and I. Feel free to ask away. Oh, Jason, what's up, buddy? I'm already finished, man, because I suck so badly at this monologue stuff. I should have invited you to come on. I did actually have somebody who canceled, not last minute, but they just got cold feet, I think. So they kind of backed out. But anyway, we got 6 people allegedly on the YouTube. Hello, everyone. Once again, I was sharing my thoughts about AmFest 2024. I was in Phoenix. I live in Phoenix. It was really nice because thank you, Jason, for asking that. So AmFest. All right, I'm gonna give my thoughts, man. It was the coolest thing because I didn't know about this digital media till last minute. I applied, they granted me digital media access, and it cost me nothing. So it was actually free to go, and I could have brought up to 5 people as part of my podcasting crew, which is amazing that 5 people could have come free. So that was very nice. I did have 2 other people join me throughout the weekend. Gentleman named Jesse and my girlfriend, but I won't say her name. Anyway, we went there. It was weird. It was the weirdest experience, man. I walk in and you go downstairs and you got media row and everybody's talking about every podcast is talking about either some kind of immigration or border or something or some kind of faith-based thing. It's kind of crazy. Everybody's talking about like God and faith and this cultural Christianity thing. So she lives in Canada. Who lives in Canada? What the heck am I doing there? Anyway, so Jason's chiming in here. So basically, I go in there and then they've got these exhibition with these bunch of booths, and every single booth had some, it was either Trump MAGA, or Christian this or Zionist that. And it was some of the most interesting people I talked to. And I literally went table to table and handed out my business card and said, "Hi, I see that you're a Zionist. I don't know if we'd agree. I think it'd be great for us to have a conversation about it." Or, "Hi, I see you're a Christian. I'm an anti-theist. I don't know if we would agree on our views on spirituality, but I'd really love to have a conversation about it." So those were a lot of my conversations. But I am very concerned. There's a cultural Christianity shift. There's a blowback happening. I'm very, very concerned. A lot of people aren't really aware of it, but it is palpable. The cultural Christian shift is happening. There's this odd blowback to the progressive woke left that I'm seeing. And that's Ron Paul, man. We all know Ron Paul. He talks about blowback all the time, and that's what it is. So that's what AmFest was like. But thanks for asking, Jason. Does anybody have any other questions? I see that there's actually 7 people on here, which is pretty amazing for me. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm an open book. On Jason's podcast, considering Jason's on there, I did express that I had a psychic experience at 40 years old and that I had a near-death experience at 13. So if anybody has any questions about the weirdness, I'm happy to talk about that. Anyone talk about lucid or any kind of other policy or programs, I'm happy to talk about that. Gentlemen, if I'd like to point out Thane, you were very kind, and we had connected yesterday, and you were just saying some very nice things about me. Totally speaking too kindly for me, because I don't think I can live up to those expectations that you seem you seem to think of me. So thank you very much. But I think Thane has been following the man stuff. Oh, what do I mean by lucid? Ooh, there we go. So lucid is the not crazy stuff. So when I talk about like my psychic stuff, that's a little bit not lucid. That's where we get like crazy. Lucid is more of like a logical reason conversation, if that makes sense. So anyway, so yeah, what's interesting about this place is Thane started talking to me yesterday, and I find out we're neighbors, so it's kind of cool. So we both live in the Phoenix area. Cheers to you, sir. Thank you for jumping on and helping me test out the equipment. But I am here, like I said. I was able to go to Freedom Fest in Vegas this year, and that was a much more open, welcome. It felt like a more open, welcoming experience. In this place, it felt like if you weren't like wearing X, Y, or Z, you were in a lot of trouble. Like you stuck out in a very different way, you know? So everybody was bedazzled with Trump or had a gold 47 written somewhere or something like that. So it's a very interesting thing. Lots of red, white, and blue. I think it's great. I think America's awesome, but you know, it's a tough place. So I hope that answered the questions about AmFest for you, Jason. Jason just asked if I brought my MAGA hat with me, and I can absolutely say I did not bring my MAGA hat. It was very hard. It was hard to have conversations with people because you're like, yeah, I don't know. I hope other people did go and they did have good experience. Now, I did meet some awesome people, and I will say this. What I love about it is that there was a large youth movement of people that were very actively involved. So I think that's important. I just think we have to get the right message to them. So I hope we're not steering them the wrong way. But there were a lot of young people. I met a gentleman named Greg and his daughters, and I think a friend of theirs, and they were all in high school. And one of the big things that came into it was the trans issue, actually. And the one woman, she was in, I think she was acrobatic gymnastics or aerobic gymnastics. I'm not certain because I apologize. I'm not a gymnast, so I'm not that well versed. But it was interesting because she told me that her sister, who was there as well, she's in Irish dancing, and there's a trans person in Irish dancing who took over, and they were like 8 in the world and still transitioned and to become one. Now, I don't know anything behind that. I just know that that's the story, and I'm curious if it's they really were that competitive and want to be number one, so they transitioned, or if that's just what they chose to do. But I find it interesting that in the Irish dance world, that there's that kind of thing. Now, I would argue if the Irish dance world had open registration, said this is how we do it, and they were open about it and didn't change the rules halfway through, I am totally fine with a group that does that and everyone knows that it's all inclusive. The only challenge I would have is if that it changed halfway through. You join this club thinking you're competing against your same biological people, and you're not. And that would be a weird thing. So that's one of the cool takeaways I took from that was that. So, for example, Riley Gaines was there. So these young ladies were really interested in meeting Riley Gaines. So I thought that was really great. Riley was an inspiration. There were so many people there. I saw Lauren Boebert. That was fun. There was I saw James Lindsay talk for a little bit. I saw Ben Shapiro talk for a little bit. It was hard to sit in that room, guys. I'm not going to lie. There were a lot of things in that room that were a little concerning, but I think obviously compared to the other side of what we could have been, it could have been pretty bad. So to the 10 of you that are watching, thank you so much for joining. I've been able to make this talk for about 15 minutes, so I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. But if you have any questions or anything or want to say hi, I'm happy to shout out to you on the little comment section there. I don't know if people are inside where they're at here. So, oh man, he's going to blow up this chat. Cool. Thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it. So it's blown up because 10 people is a lot of people. But thank you again, gentlemen. What do I expect from a Trump? Oh, dude, you were asking. Why you gotta ask questions like this? Okay, Jason asks, what do you expect from a Trump presidency? Well, I can't. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie because I don't know if they're still after him or not. And I don't know if he's gotten the message from them and settled down. His rhetoric was interesting. Yesterday he talked about taking back the Panama Canal after signing it off. And it's like, okay, well, that sounds interesting. And the border stuff's interesting. Here's my thought. I'll try to break down each one. Border wise, I understand that there are illegal migrants, and they're all illegal because they're illegal migrants and they're immigrants or illegal border crossers, trespassers, whatever you want to call it. And there are some violent ones within that group. What we need to do before we do anything else, before we start storming door to door trying to get out illegals and all this stuff, I think we just need to absolutely secure the border first. Before we do anything else, we should secure the border. And then, all right, Jason asked about Greenland, and I actually do have a thought about Greenland, my friend. I love it. I love the Greenland thing because if you guys remember the post that Trump had back in the day where he just put like Trump Tower on top and he's like, I promise I won't do this. That was one of the funniest things. But this isn't what bothers me. It doesn't bother me that Trump's talking stuff like that. I think the president or whatever of Greenland's like, Greenland's not for sale. And some Trump MAGA guy reposts and says, we're not asking. That's the guy I got the problem with. I don't have the problem with the, take care of yourself and, personal responsibility. But like, I don't think you need to like actively take another country. I just think that's just a step too far. Ghosts. Do I believe in ghosts? Jason wants to really blow up. This is my first live stream, everybody. And Jason wants to end my non-career before it starts. So matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Ghosts. Let's see. I think it's possible that given an extreme enough event that there could be an energy imprint left behind from a physical manifestation. So, I guess, matter can turn into energy into matter. And maybe at some point, if there's enough traumatic experience, the energy that escapes one during that event of one losing their life could leave a permanent after, like a footprint, like a fingerprint, like an after effect of some sort. Now, have I seen ghosts? I've never seen a ghost. I've watched ghost hunters. I'm friends with the gentleman I met at where was it? At Freedom Fest. I don't want to say his name, but he actually was a professional ghost hunter. He has one tattoo. It's of a ghost. And he told me that he's going to get me a tattoo because I don't have any tattoos. So when I see him in Vegas. But as for ghosts, it's possible that it's some kind of energy. Has anyone out there seen any ghosts? Jason, have you ever seen any ghosts? What about yourself? Anyone else think about ghosts? What are your thoughts on that? I'm happy to share what anyone else seems to think about it. Like I said, I haven't any personal direct experience. I did have a shadow come out of a closet once and grab my sheet, like grab the sheet on my body and try to pull it off of me once and then disappear, retreat back into the closet. But that's the closest I came to an experience like that. Whoa. Jason might be a ghost. I think just don't ghost me, my friend, after all the crazy conversations. So, I've been trying to reach out to Spike, by the way, because he's been sharing his faith with people. So I'm hoping I can get to talk to him early enough. But if you can make that happen, that would be awesome. I'll tell you one thing. If you were a ghost, I definitely want you behind me while I'm working that wheel. Because I'd be working that clay wheel and you just come up behind me and just wrap your arms around me while Unchained Melody plays. It'd be great. So Thane doesn't believe in ghosts. Is that correct, Thane? And yes, so Thane shared with me a gentleman, Jason Koene. I hope I said it correctly. Koene. I just started watching some of his podcasts, and Thane, feel free to add me and share that podcast, that 4-hour podcast. I didn't get through the whole thing. Yes, certain things very important. I think it would be very interesting to talk with that gentleman. Right now we've got 14 people on. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that that works, but thank you so much, Jason, for coming, man. Appreciate it. You're awesome. You've been very supportive, and I'm really grateful. I'm hoping we can talk again. I wanted to invite you today, but the only reason I didn't is because we literally talked like 3 times in the last week, and I feel like it would become one of those things where all we do is hold hands and run through the field together, man. And I as much as I like you and admire you, I'm not monogamous like that, man. I'm gonna cheat on you, my friend. But thank you so much for joining. Thane, if you'd like to share anything about ghosts, I would assume you don't believe in ghosts. If you have an idea of what an explanation might be, that would be awesome. Feel free to drop something in the comments. But we can talk about ghosts. So if no one had seen Jason's podcast yet, I was honored to be on his podcast, and I'll share it after this. But it was I don't get to share this side of me very often. I'm very reasonable, logical, very straightforward. I like to deal with facts. I don't like to deal with feelings as much. I know that feelings create everything, and obviously we have them, but I try to remove feeling from logical conversations as much as possible. That said, at 13 years old, I was ejected from a cargo van. I took a header, and I broke my femur and I hit my head. And I do remember lifting outside of my body, hovering over my body, seeing myself curled up in a fetal position with flashing lights going around. Next thing I know, they're shoving a tube down my throat and all that stuff. So I remember having that experience. And I remember at 40, I actually had a psychic experience, a precognitive experience. It was my first ever meditation. And I was seeking some help through neuro-linguistic programming. And the gentleman put me through a guided meditation. And the first vision I saw was the shooting of Clements and Pinckney and the Dylan Roof shooting in South Carolina. It was a very jarring experience for me. I didn't understand it. I saw it the Thursday before it happened. It happened on Wednesday. My therapist actually told me it would happen, or did, and then told me that it happened. So it was very interesting. I explained to him the vision that I had coming out of it. And he looked at me, said that either did happen somewhere else or will happen. And I found that very interesting. So that was a Thursday. And the next Wednesday was a shooting. I come in Thursday and I didn't think anything of it. And he broke down like what was going on there. And he explained to me that that's kind of what I saw. And that was the first time they opened the floodgates for me. And since then, I've had many, many experiences. I can't explain them. I seek to explain them more than corroborate them or defend them, but they are what I experience. So once again, it's very interesting because this is a part of me that a lot of people don't see, but it is inside of me, and yet it doesn't affect my daily life. I'm able to interact with everyone pretty normally as much as I can. So I really am grateful for thanking you for doing this with me. I'm so grateful. Um, if there's any questions, oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Outside the experience. So that's good. So we, at least many of us can corroborate that some of us have had or not had experiences. Like I said, I can share one experience I had with a shadow figure of some sort, but I haven't had any of those walking through Tombstone in Arizona or Jerome. I've been there. I've been in Jerome at 2 a.m. So I hope to take a couple people there. Maybe we'll do a ghost hunting thing there or something. So anyone else have any questions again? And thank you again for joining. I hope everyone's enjoying the conversation. Once again, I'm here breaking down a little bit of AmFest and talking about a little bit about myself, only because I'm trying to get comfortable with the monologue piece. This is my first ever live stream monologue, everybody. So welcome. You have popped my cherry. And, when I become big and famous, you guys are going to be the first people that made it happen. So thank you very much. Please say hi in the comments because I do see a number of people in there. But if there's anybody in there, please say hello. All right. So AmFest, there was a very interesting booth. I think it was called Live to Tell. And I think you put on virtual glasses and got to watch, I don't know if his baby's being beheaded or something, but some kind of thing where either Israel hostage is being taken or something like that. So I will say that compassion is where everyone gets weaponized. Everyone weaponizes your compassion against you. On the left, the compassion is inclusivity and this and that and the other. On the right, the compassion is um, I, Israel. I don't know. I don't know what the compassion is there, but it's very interesting to see that play out in its way. Um, but this is why I was a grade A neocon, guys, in the 1990s. 1997, I applied. I was enlisted for the military. I actually went through the 3-hour physical. I passed all the things except for the last test because of my car accident that I had. My leg was 3/4 of an inch shorter than the other. So they failed me and I wasn't able to join the military. Now, in hindsight, probably a very good idea that I didn't join the military because I don't know if I would have come out the other side at all or in any kind of good, positive way, because I can only imagine what I would have felt coming out of that. So anyway, I come out of that and then we find out about Iraq. And now I'm reading Scott Horton's book, Provoked, and we're finding out all the things that we're doing and all the propaganda that we're doing to push ourselves toward whatever, World War III, nuclear annihilation, a bigger Israel. I don't know what we're trying to do here, but it doesn't seem to be going well for us because we're spending ourselves to oblivion. And I just watched Jimmy Dore. I remember the gentleman on it. I forget which in Trust Group or one of the ones that does a metal exchange. And he's saying that the dollar's worth 3% of what it was. 3%. So it's lost 97% of its purchasing power since it's been implemented. That is not healthy. That can't be good. So I wish that people would wake up to that a little bit. That'd be nice. We should stop printing money, stop spending. So what I propose, I don't propose this left right thing. I propose to defang the government as much as possible so that neither side will take and wield and use and misuse, abuse their powers. So as I've come out of the neocon thing, I certainly wasn't going to become a lefty. That wasn't it. But I am a liberty guy. I guess that's a left idea, which makes no sense. But because freedom seems to be on the right, liberty would be on the left. It's really odd, but two wings of the same bird, everybody. I guess that's how it works, right? But for the most part, I'm uh, trying to enjoy this a little bit. So thank you so much again for joining me, everybody. This has been a really cool experience. I'm really grateful for that. And I'm pausing here for a second because I have no idea what's going on here. All right. All right. Here we are. Well, thank you again. I'm really grateful. You guys have been awesome. I hope you guys have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. Anything else before I go? Okay, cool. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me for my first ever live stream. Hey, we made it 30 minutes. That's not so bad. I think I might even record this. I might even put it up. So thank you again for all your questions. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Have a great day, everybody. I hope you take care. Bye. Oh, oh, I can't comment too much other than I listened to some of it and I'm in alignment with some of the things that were said. I did not I didn't too deep into it. So I apologize. I will need to do that. I am so underwater with my reading because I don't read well and everything like that. So but thank you so much again for joining. If you have any possible shorter links, maybe clips as well, please join them. Please add them to the comments on this as well. So we can do that. All right. Well, thank you again for everybody for joining again. It's been awesome. It's been pretty cool. Thank you. 30 minutes, we made it. 10 people. How about that? 12 people. I am very grateful to have the opportunity just to be able to do this, to be able to do research, to live in Phoenix, to be able to go to things like AmFest, to go to Vegas and things like that. So thank you again for that. Jason on X, or I'm sorry, Thane on X. I will check out his work. Once again, the gentleman is Jason Kerne. It's K and it's O with an umlaut, which is the two dots over the O, HNE. Jason Kerne. So everyone check him out. We're going to do that as well. Thank you, Thane, again. Perhaps we will cross paths in the future here because we are neighbors. But everyone, take care. Have a great day. Next week on the 30th of December, we do plan to cover part 3 of Scott Horton's book, Provoked. That's pages 170 to 256. So we will be doing that. Thank you again to everyone. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year. Hopefully, we'll see you here next Monday. It will be Jacob, Sean, and myself, the three of us. We may have a special guest, not sure. Please check out the other 2 parts we did. We did with Kyle Anzalone last week, and the first part we did with just the 3 of us. So thank you again for joining, everyone. Have a great evening and take care. Bye. Oh, you came late. Oh, Justin. Justin, what's up, buddy? Hey, all right. Welcome, sir. I'm not going to jump off yet. If you're going to jump on, might as well keep it on here. I got nowhere to go. What's going on, man? You wanted to share some of your stuff. You have any questions about so Justin, I don't want to speak for you, buddy, but I would guess that you were slightly a little more center right than myself, and I came from that. And I don't mean it center right, good, bad, or indifferent. I just mean it the perspective is very similar to how I perceive things as well. If you'd like to share anything in the comments, I was basically talking about AmFest, and I am a little concerned with the direction that AmFest. It's like an overcorrection that we never govern within the middle, we govern through it. So what I'm finding is that AmFest is like already the pendulum has swung to this cultural Christianity. Now, I think that Christianity is an excellent way that one can live one's life. I that is not a thing. It's a totally different conversation, whether it has value and whether it should be propagated or whatever. Those are 2 very different conversations. So, but Jason, thank you so much. Or Justin, thank you so much for coming. Did you have any questions, buddy, or just want to say hi? Hello? Thank you. Like I said, we're going to cover Scott Horton's book next Monday again. Okay, libertarian leaning. I love this. Okay, so Justin, this is the beauty. So it's like, if I may, and I say this with the most glibness because we all have to find a way to like label ourselves, right? We have to describe who we are, and it's like all of us. It's like somebody says, "I'm a Republican" or "I'm a Democrat." I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a libertarian. I'm a Green Party. I'm a communist. You know, they seem very straight, but there's so much variance within that, right? There's, hey, man, saying hi to you too, man. But I love it. This is one of my favorite labels. It's like a half calf, double calf when you're ordering at Starbucks. But Justin is a self-proclaimed libertarian-leaning constitutional conservative. Man, I love that. That is, I would attest that your posts are very much along those lines, my friend. So yes, that is pretty much what you are. It's pretty cool though, because we need to talk, because I think I can get you away from that even. Because I think you and I probably were very much in the same boat. I know that we had talked previously. I definitely was way, way, way. You know, like I said, I had a T-shirt that said, "Hey Saddam, this scud's for you." So I was one of those guys who just liked watching everybody get blown up. You know, Rambo, all the Rambo stuff, all the Saving Private Ryan stuff. You know. By the way, there's a new propaganda movie out called Warfare, I think. It's about the Iraq War, and it sensationalizes all the killing that we did. So I wouldn't support it, but you know, you're welcome to do so if you like. I'm probably going to watch it, but maybe we'll have to do a movie review on it. But it's very interesting. It's interesting to see how they, once again, they weaponize our compassion against us. So, oh man, Justin, calling me out. And I swear I'm not there yet, man. I swear I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. And it's a short walk from, like, once you break from the two-party thing, going anarcho cap is like, it's not that far of a jump. It's pretty crazy. So I'm not ANCAP yet, but what I'd like to do, can we just start with defanging the government a little bit? How about that? Can we, like, how about letting off the gas? Can we start there? Like, I don't consider myself, I'm a very radical person in my head, but I don't consider myself radical in this world. Like, I think that we can uncouple the spaghetti wire and kind of get it decoupled and start untangling this mess that we're in. But it does have to start. So we got to start defanging the government somewhere, because the less powers anyone has over anyone else, the net better everyone is. Because in order for to give government the power to do something for you, it can then have the power to do something to you. So always keep that piece in mind. I don't know if good government is like a good thing. Obviously, we've got, you know, lesser two evils. We got the net better thing. So, but yes, I would lean a little bit more ANCAP-y. My friend Jason's definitely ANCAP. I speak with a lot of those people because I just like the open-mindedness of it. What I find interesting of it, many of them are personally Christian or very conservative. So what's interesting to me is I don't want to be like, I don't really want to answer to anyone, if that makes any sense. So I find it interesting that people would give their faith to God, for example. But it's a different way, right? Obviously, it's a reductionist way I'm looking at it. But anyway, so yeah, I am an ANCAP or anarcho-capitalist. What I would recommend, though, regardless of what I am, don't listen to me. Listen to people who wrote books. There's a Henry Hazlitt. He wrote a book called Economics in One Lesson. I am a horrible reader. I do not read well. I put it on audiobook. It's only 7 hours. I listen to that thing 3 times. It's an easy listen. You learn about everything. You heard about tariffs, for example. Trump talked about tariffs. It's in there. You heard about taxes? It's in there. It's so straightforward and simple that it is very, very impressive. Very good to check out. So, well, I guess that comes to the end of it, because I really don't know anything else to say unless other people have questions. I'd love to answer questions, do more of a Q&A thing if anybody would like to jump in. There you go. We all give our faith to something. Jason or Justin, great point. We do all give our faith to something. That's a beautiful way to say that. And I want to be clear. I admire faith. I think faith is a beautiful thing. And I truly do believe that there is a direct relation. When I speak of my faith or lack thereof, you know, you've got your You've got your Christian, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, Islam, Buddhist, all that. I'm a self-prescribed anti-theorist. Take care, man. You taking off too, or are you just good? Or I don't know if you're going, if I'm going, because I keep saying bye, but everybody keeps saying stuff. So I keep getting strung along, which I'm happy to stay here. So anyway, I am a self-prescribed theist. What that means is the theism to me is what the human interpretation of the spirituality is, right? It's the institutional part. It's the religion part. That is the part that actually I have issue with, because I don't know what it is, but I do think we got it wrong. But anyway, yeah, no, man, we're good. We're good. I'm not, I love to stay here and talk all night because that's what I do, man. You want to jump on a show sometime? You have to jump on. We can talk. We'll get to know you. Let me know. We'll do it. But yeah, if anyone else is out there, I see 13 eyeballs on at least 13 eyeballs. So if anybody's looking, 11 are on X. Please ask me a question. Please feel free. Jump on. I am live on YouTube as well. So I do see 2 people on the YouTube there. So nobody on the Facebook. What a shock. All my boomer friends, they're like, I can't figure out the Facebooks. It's pretty funny. Speaking of Facebook, I've got a theory and I'm hoping people can help me out. If everybody remembers Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, what's beautiful about Tom Petty is Tom Petty spoke half Dylan. I could kind of understand him a little bit more than I can understand Dylan. So I always found Tom Petty to be an interpreter between Bob Dylan and the normal human being. So you'd be like, hey, and then Tom Petty would be like, well, he said he wants to go to the store. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of understand that. That's how I see myself, because I'm like I'm a Gen X plus boomer adjacent. So I actually go on Facebook and I actually try to engage with people. I have no idea where these people are coming from, but a lot of them are coming from Tucson. And I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know what's in that water down there, but it is some of the most captured stuff I've ever seen. I put the littlest post up and I just get the most toxic responses from Tucson of all. Tucson. Come on, guys. Tucson? You guys are pussycats down there, man. So I never understood that either. But anyway, once again, so thankful, so grateful that everyone could jump on here with me. Let me see. Anything else going on? I'm trying to see if I'm even on here. Okay, I'm playing live stream. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you again so much for joining me. I am beyond grateful. Tucson's Liberich. You're right. It is. It's that college town. That's part of it. You know, it's really funny. There's a lot of artists, musicians, a lot of people down there, but it is interesting that it's very regionalized. So everyone, thank you again for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. I have been doing this for over 4.5 years. I probably have 200 podcasts. I am an absolute nobody. But the only thing I ask, if you could just do me the favor, if you could take a look at some of my other podcasts, look at some of the names you might be familiar with. I think there'd be a conversation that you'd be interested. One of them would interest you. I go long, I go deep, I talk. I'm curious as all get out, and I wanted to get to know people. So I hope we get to know each other better. Thank you again for doing this. I'm really grateful. I hope you guys have a great evening. Take care. Please subscribe, join Not Conscious, follow me. I'm happy to follow you back. Send me a message. I'm happy to do it. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great night. Take care.